Welcome to the Tearing It Up podcast. I'm your host, Taryn. We'll be tearing it up, tearing it down, and tearing it apart, dissecting all things related to those who deviate from the standard. From leaders of their industry to leaders of mediocrity, and maybe a gear review or two thrown in. We shoot the shit and let the conversations flow, so if that's not your style, this may not be for you. Otherwise, listen in. Hope to light a fire in you somehow. Hello! We're back. We got another TNA for you. How special.
Yeah, baby.
Like I mentioned last time, these are a little bit fewer and further between than they used to be. We've been averaging like once a month, I think, for like over a year. And we love having guests and whatnot, but it's also a lot to keep that guest calendar rolling. And I also still just love having conversations with just you and I, Amber, because not every day, I don't know, I've been having a hard time finding podcasts lately to listen to because I've got a couple genres, if you will: crime, educational, and then like shoot the shit. And I've really been in a shoot the shit mode lately. Because I'm constantly doing something, so it's like the educational kind of things. Like I'm not really paying attention, so I feel like I have to re-listen to it when I can actually hear what they're saying, and I don't know, take some notes or just like at least process some of it. Crime, I'm just like, all right, enough. I don't really need to hear about this murder right now. There's enough going on in the world. And so my shoot the shit, like I just want to listen to people have real conversations and maybe giggle a few times. But I'm like, dude, I don't have any of those anymore. And I swear, I don't know what happened to the ones I used to listen to. Well, I know one is just done. The other one I got so tired of because one of the women, like, just, I don't know, started really kind of annoying me. I wasn't jiving with them anymore. And it made me think too, like, well, you know what? People do that. They listen to podcasts, they grow out of them. People will do that with us. And I have to accept that. And it's okay for me to do it. I have to know that it's okay for people to do that with us. But all this to say that it's left me kind of craving just having conversations where we can just kind of talk about everyday life and hopefully fucking laugh too, because I'm craving it. So I hope and think other people out there are like, I just want to turn this on, not have to pay attention, fucking background noise, but then you catch something funny and you're laughing and you're like, yeah, just a little bit of lightness in our lives right now.
Yes.
So,
oh, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, we need it. Like I said, it's so great to hear these women's stories and feel inspired and like, fuck yeah, that's so awesome they did that. Now maybe I can, go do my thing or whatever. But like sometimes you don't need the inspiration, the motivation. Like I said, literally, you just want to zone out, catch a little bit of conversation, feel like you're just chatting with your friends and fucking laugh. And I need some belly laughs in my life. I don't know if we'll give you many today, but like just turn this on and fucking keep working, cleaning, whatever, and don't worry about what's going on in the world because there's too much.
Yeah. It's too heavy, man. It's too heavy. I've not been able to keep up with world events because I just can't. So I've been like reeling my focus in on my life and things that are close to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yano?
You have to. And I mean, we're talking about lightheartedness and things like that and non-heaviness, but we were chatting before recording too, and we wanted to bring this up, and I think we'll just start it off. We're not going to get too deep or heavy or anything, but we were reminded, right now it's coming into spring. Well, it is spring. And I think we're full on here in Tahoe. Like, of course, we still can get a freaking storm in April, May, June, whatever, a one-off or whatever. In Washington, same thing. Could be gray and rainy, things like that. But definitely trending spring into summer, more consistent sun. I am feeling an energy switch. It's interesting. I'm like, where's this coming from? Literally, I feel like something has recalibrated, and I really think it was camping at Sea Otter because I was going to bed pretty early and like waking up and like outside. So just like circadian rhythm, I think got totally recalibrated.
Yes.
I am waking up around like 5, 6 o'clock, like pretty just like boop awake and able to get
Love
up
it.
out of bed because it's not winter cold where I'm like, well, there's no fucking way I'm gonna get out of bed right now and go sit in the
Yeah.
dark in the living room, you know? So it's like, okay, it's light out. I can actually get up and start doing things. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm like, all right, feeling this seasonal switch of energy and more sunlight, these things. You're just feeling like coming out of the winter hole, natural
Yes.
happiness with this stuff. But we also
Fun,
know,
man.
yeah, but we're also not naive, and we know that it doesn't always work like that, right? It doesn't just mean that everyone is now just like
Mhm.
happy. Oh, it's spring, things are blooming, sun is out. Like my life is fucking just golden now and all better. So we wanted to remind everybody, as we've mentioned this a few times before, like if you're thinking about somebody, a friend you haven't talked to in a while, and they've just crossed your mind, literally just send that quick message, a quick text like, hi, thinking about you, how are you, like hope you have a great day, anything like that that doesn't lead them into thinking they have to carry on like a conversation or anything now. But it's obviously open for them too. But I love receiving things like that where I don't feel like, oh crap, I don't have time to respond to you and then I forget. But it can just mean so much when it hits that person, whether they're actually going through a hard time or not, and they're having a great time in life, and you just haven't heard from them in a while. That it still will make their day knowing that someone randomly is like thinking about them. So if it crosses your mind, like is it just send the text, hi, hello, how, like hope you're doing well. Not even a how are you, because again, that leaves it not so open ended where they just feel like they don't have to answer. Because yeah, not everyone just instantly makes that switch just because of seasons, because life is still fucking lifing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Life and all over the place. But yeah,
Life and
check
all
in on
over the
your
place.
people, friends,
Check. Yep.
family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Make sure
But
everybody's heads are above water.
yeah, absolutely. Most of them aren't, or you're treading water, you know? It's like, because even though I've said this, right, that I feel different, a little bit recalibrated, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden life is like easy and I'm actually, yes, oh, happy jumping for joy every fucking day. Oh, I'm still busy and stressed about
Yeah.
things, but I absolutely love the fact that it's been easier to wake up in the mornings. And that it
Yeah.
feels like I literally have more day to get stuff done because I am not like dragging myself out of bed and straight to coffee, like, oh my fucking God, like I can't wake up kind of thing.
Yeah.
It could just be this week, you know, I don't fucking know. In 2 weeks, I could be back to having a hard time getting up because just not sleeping well, all this shit. But yeah, shit's always going on for everyone, especially right now. Like I said, so much stuff's going on in the world.
Yeah.
I am just trying really hard for 2025 to fucking like practice what I preach with like reaching out to people, getting outside, doing the thing, because I'm really tired of waiting around and either waiting for the invite from someone or being afraid to accept the invite from someone because I'm a slow ass climber and I just feel like I got to do everything alone until I feel good about myself or whatever. That's like, you know what? Whatever. This is where I'm at in life. This is who I am, showing up as we are. And if
Yes.
that doesn't work for somebody, then that doesn't work for them. And that's fine. But yeah, just doing the fucking kind of scary things and showing up as I am.
Good
And
job,
so,
Karen.
yeah, trying. And again, you know, I feel like I've probably said this a million times and it starts out and then all of a sudden you get into your slumps and whatever, that's fine. Again, I don't, if I end up in a couple months like turning back in, being a little more introverted, then that's what it is. But while I can push myself out of my comfort zone, I'm going to. And right now
Yeah.
I'm in that stage and phase of being able to do that. And that's not any extremes, but it's like, you know, I've been reaching out to new people that I haven't done things with and just taking the risk. So yesterday I went on my first mountain bike ride in Truckee. So I did a clinic at Sea Otter. I think I talked about the Ladies All Ride mountain bike clinic, but it was very much like learning clinic, basic beginner based. We did some stuff just on a flat lawn, and then we did go up a little trail and like dropped this little rock garden thing, but it was not like a trail ride or anything. So I don't count that as like my first ride. And so I was at the gym and literally like 1 minute before the class was starting, and I was like, if I don't send this fucking text, I'm not gonna send it after working out. So my friend M, who did the art for the podcast, she did my TKO yoga and fitness website, and I've just done a few things with her, worked with her in different businesses and things. She and I and Katie Hawkins and another gal, Jancy Quinn, we are all putting together an event that's happening this Thursday. So that's the day that this episode released, April 24th, in Truckee, a public lands and waterways event where it's a Q&A panel. We've got a town council member, Katie Hawkins, and a couple, Emily Tidwell, who represents POW, Protect Our Winters, and then another woman, Alexis, who represents a company or organization rather here in Truckee that's MAP, Mountain Area Preservation. And so we are literally just trying to bring the community together to talk about what's happening with the federal cuts, how it might be affecting us right here in Truckee, so that one, for people who are overwhelmed by what's going on, the goal is that the community can feel like a little weight is lifted off their shoulders. They can hear about how it is directly affecting us here in our community and how they can take like these most basic steps right in your out your back door to make a difference, to use your voice. We have pre-printed postcards that M designed, so we'll have like coloring pencils and markers and stuff where people can actually color these postcards in, but on the other side there's a pre-printed message and they are labeled to our Congress. So right then and there people will deliver them or like, give them to us and we stamp them and we'll get them sent in the mail to our local Congress. But overall, yeah, we were hearing from these women on how some of these federal cuts are directly affecting organizations they work with or what they're seeing at their professional level, and open it up to the audience to answer questions or to ask questions about things. And we have invited a few local nonprofits in Truckee too to speak, or just to be there to introduce themselves to the community if they don't know, and again share what their organization does in the community. So we'll have like Truckee Dirt Union, which is a mountain bike or bike rather organization, building trails and whatnot. So yeah, just what they're doing in the community, how people can get involved, and how might any of this affect them, whether it directly does or indirectly. And they can speak to how it maybe affects the land that they work with most often. Just really trying to open up the conversations, get, like I said, in the local community, because I feel like, as we've mentioned, and as I said with that podcast with Katie, it's overwhelming and you don't know where to start. And so
Mhm.
if we just can provide a space for people in town of like, look, you don't have to do much. You just have to show up and show your support, and also like meet people. Let's get out together, go for a bike ride, go for a hike, like
Yeah.
trying to take some of, again, the heaviness off of it and remind people why we love to be outside and connect them with people who love doing the same things.
Mhm.
So Em and I and, the other gals had a meeting yesterday, our last meeting before the event, and so I was like, "All right, I'm gonna text Em and see if she wants to go ride, Jackass, or Donkey Town is what it's called now, with me after." Send the text, class starts, my phone's on silent, working out, absolutely dying in the Metcon portion of the workout. Like, there's burpees and thrusters in them, and thrusters, if you don't know,
Damn.
are like a squat and then to an overhead press. And both of those moves like destroy me on their own in the Metcon arena. Well, burpees obviously just are like a metabolic movement anyways,
Yeah.
on conditioning, but like, yeah, I don't know, thrusters can destroy me. So those two paired together always just fucking destroy me. I was like, dude, I just can't fucking breathe today. And it feels like in these moments, almost like it feels like in humidity that you're just like, "God, I can't take a full breath."
Yeah.
But
Like
I was
breathing through a
fine.
straw.
Yeah, I kept my shit together, and I was just like rolling my eyes, walking around, go step outside, like really didn't give any fucks on how many rounds I was getting, just looking at the clock like, "Oh my god, 6 more minutes, what the fuck?" But it felt good because in some of these moments in the more recent past, it's been really hard mentally. I'm like, I get down on myself. I'm like, "Why can't I do this? Like, this is crazy. I was, great last week in this workout. Like, why is this one so hard?" I'm like, "I don't fucking
Yeah.
care. It's it is what it is. It's hard. And no one knows how many rounds I did. I don't know how many rounds I did. I'm not counting. I'm just trying to move and survive and not be hard on myself because this literally doesn't mean anything. Like,
Yeah.
um, and so, yep, totally dead after. And I was like, I fucking hope M said no. Like, has some reason to, she can't go bike. So I checked my phone and she's like, yes. And I was like, oh no. Because I was also like, dude, I don't know if I'm in a place where I can do like CrossFit and a bike ride, which is funny because people do that shit all the time and they do way bigger rides and do shit all day. But I was just like, I went snowboarding the day before with Andrew's mom, and we went for much longer
Nice.
than I thought we would. So my legs and shit were killing me because that was the only time I've like snowboarded all year.
Oh, dang.
I mean, I went on one tour, but that was like literally a 5-minute ride down. So this was the first time and last time going to a resort, and we were getting laps in. So yeah, my legs were like burning. I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna go climb? Even though it's a pretty short climb, relatively speaking, this trail. I was just like, I'm gonna get 5 minutes in and die and be questioning life and be so sad and mad that I invited her because I'll feel so bad that I'm so slow and I can't breathe. And so I told her I was like kind of trying to back out without saying I was
Yeah.
backing out, but I was full disclosure, like
Yep.
I just died in this CrossFit workout. I don't know, I'm very slow, blah blah blah, all the things. And she basically was like agreeing. She's like, "Oh my god, I also am like kind of nervous. It's my first ride. I worked out. I'm feeling weird and I normally don't ride with other people either." So, yeah, we chatted and whatever, we made it happen and it was great because we were both literally on the same fucking exact page, the same pace. And I'm like, this never happens. And a lot of times it can more often happen at the beginning of the season for me. And then like 3 rides in, that person is now like 5 miles ahead of me. But it was just so
Yep.
great because I had no idea what her riding style was, what kind of pace she liked, anything at all. But I was like, we're doing this event together. We're meeting. I've been trying to ride this trail for the last 3 days. My bike's been in my truck since Saturday. And I haven't gotten out. And I'm sure as shit not gonna go ride this trail by myself after this meeting. I'll find all the excuses like, oh, I gotta go make dinner. I gotta go make sure the bear isn't getting in. I gotta go
Yep.
like go work. And we made it fucking happen. And I was just so proud that we rode slow as fuck and we got to the down and we were both like, fuck yeah, this is so fun. Like, think like this makes it worth it. You always forget on the climb while you're doing it. And
Yes, you do.
it's like you get done with the down, you're like, let's do it again. Except no, we were not there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
but yeah, it was just so fun and it made me so happy because she was feeling the same way and, not really reaching out to people and stuff. And I just feel like when you do that and you do get that person who is on the same page and level, then that just takes, again, that heaviness off of them of like, all right, I'm not alone in this either. And so, like, maybe then they'll reach out to more people and
Yes.
it's just a, you know, freaking spiral effect, snowball effect for people to just do it. So,
Yep.
um, yeah, just trying to not wait
And it's
anymore in
it's
2025.
wild how yes, and it's also wild how those negative thoughts just take a hold of our brains and we take them and just spiral,
Yeah,
man.
dude,
I don't know
I
what
shit
that
you
is.
not. We got lapped by so many people because people were out there doing laps on this trail. One guy was like going down for had to be his third time, we're pretty certain, before we were going down on our first. And we were like, oh my fucking god. But we also stopped like and hung out a bit at a couple spots because people were coming and we wanted them to pass us. And then we'd get stuck like behind like a
Yeah.
fucking train of like waiting and waiting and waiting. Um, so yeah, we weren't just like blowing through and it same we agreed on this too, why we both don't like doing evening rides really because there's usually so many more people out on the trails after work. And I mean, this
Yes.
was not even close to like how busy it is in the summer and we were like, fuck, there's so many people. um but yeah, I was just like, I can't believe, like, oh, there goes that person again, there goes that person again, like, motherfucker, and they're not on e-bikes. But
Yeah. But
yeah,
also,
we
I
didn't
mean,
let the
people go there with their agendas.
yeah, absolutely. Like I said, our first rides of the season at all, both being tired and shit anyways.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can get sucked into the negative, and it just felt really good being in that headspace of not caring at all. And I think if I was by myself, I probably would have been like more in that self-deprecating, like, oh my God, like this is only my, first lap, whatever, and they're going cruising by again. I'm like, I don't even care. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, um, just how I was feeling in that workout. Like, you know what? If there are the people that judge you, let them. Fucking let them.
Yes.
What's it, hurt? And if
Opinions
they
are like assholes, you know?
yeah.
Everyone's got them.
Totally. It was just so great. And then there's this moment that I was like, "Come on, Karma." Really small and dumb. So we're about to leave and I see gloves in the parking lot. Like this van had just pulled out. So I trying to wave him. I jump out of my truck, grab his gloves, wave him down. He stops and, run his gloves up to him. He's like, "Oh my God, like thank you so much." Well, like, no problem. And then I leave, go to the grocery store, and all of a sudden I forgot, like, I drank all my water and fucking forgot to get a drink at the grocery store. And I'm like, huh, but where is my water bottle that I had on my bike? I was like, fuck, I put it on the bumper of my truck. And then Em and I were chatting away, and I bet I left it on my bumper. And it was just a little 16-ounce plastic squeeze bottle. Doesn't mean anything. I got it for free at Sea Otter. It was a Live bottle that was decorated like a Coors banquet can. But I was so
Cute.
bummed that I lost it, and I was like, "All right, well, after the store, like, I'll just drive past the trailhead." It probably fell off right at before I got back on the road, and I'm going through a roundabout, the second roundabout that I woulda went through, and I see something in the road. I'm like, "That's my fucking water bottle." So I do a loop all the way around the roundabout. I'm like, "Where the fuck am I gonna park? Find a place I can pull my truck over, like, walk over to pick it up out of the middle of the road." Of course, it's been run over, like, I don't know, at least
Yep.
one time, and so the cap is all definitely broken, and I was just kinda laughing because 'cause I'm like, "This thing is probably, like, $5, and I got it for free." But I was like,
Yep.
"Also, I'm not gonna litter if I know I left a bottle there. If I knew it was in the parking lot, I'm like, okay, someone will probably pick it up, but still, it's like I'd rather have it if I just left it in the parking lot." And then honestly, when I saw it in the road, I was like, do I really pull over and like run and fucking pick this up out of the middle of the road or just leave it? I was like, no, I have to fucking go pick it up. And yeah, I just like thought, I'm like, what the fuck, Karma? Like no one could have told me that my water bottle's sitting on my
Yeah.
bumper. But it was too far gone. I think it must have been tucked in behind my wheel a little bit to have held it in its place for as long as it did. But I was just like, I can't believe I am walking out in the middle, and it was like right in front of where people get off of the highway to come into the roundabout. Now, I mean, they have to slow down. Obviously, they're not flying off the off ramp, but it was like no one was around either. I'm like, okay, this is perfect. Like no one's actually watching me. Like, go pick this bottle up, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then I was like, well, Earth Day, which is actually
Exactly. I was gonna say, look at you being a little earth princess.
yeah, which is actually today as we're recording
No
on
no
Tuesday.
littering for Taryn.
Yeah, and, Earth
Yep.
Day, Earth Month, Earth every year day,
Yes. Forever and always.
forever and always. Yeah, just don't litter and pick stuff up when you can. I would like to do that,
Yeah.
is remember to bring bags, or something, pick stuff up on the trail. Luckily, this trail just opened, hadn't been open in a year, so there wasn't, a lot of litter around
Oh,
it or
wow.
anything, but yeah, they did a bunch of fire prevention on it, so it's crazy though because it's so, like,
Cool.
cleared out, it looks so weird because 'cause you're like, "Wow, I can see all the way down there now." And also so much more
Yeah.
exposed to the sun, which kinda sucks because around up in
Uh-huh.
Washington, so many of the trails are so much more dense, and I love it, and like, around
Forested.
here, a lot of the
Yeah.
trails definitely are more exposed to the sun, and I was just like, "Oh, no, I'm definitely gonna have to be putting
Mhm.
sunscreen on when I ride this trail now." But, yeah.
Yes, and bringing extra, extra water.
Yes. Yeah, I just forgot to fill bottles and didn't put my bladder in my little hip pack because I was like, "Oh, hour ride," and, I'm sure it'll be fine, and then, yeah, I didn't think about the after. I was like, "Oh," but I know how much water I should be bringing, and have available to me, and it's usually a lot.
Yes. No water bottle is big enough.
Yeah, yeah, and then I gotta carry that shit. Have you, got any plans to get out on your bike
Yep.
soon? Yeah?
Um, nothing solid, but for Mother's Day, I wanna go play. Um, I reached out to a buddy of mine, and him and his kiddos are really getting into mountain biking, so we've got tentative plans to meet up with them at the pump track and do
Cool.
some laps with the kiddos. But I don't have any solid mountain biking plans, and my road bike is currently out of commission because I broke the chain on it. And
How?
I have a replacement chain. I was just cranking. I was stopped at a busy street, and then I like went to go like crank my pedal over to get past this busy street, and it just snapped right off. I think it had to do with like my gear ratio, where I was at in my gears, and then
Mm,
also just having a very old chain. I think, yeah, I've had that chain since 2020. So it was her time, and I felt like such a fucking badass. So I'm keeping that chain and gonna
heck
like
yeah.
hang it in my garage and be like,
Make a
yeah,
necklace.
broke that chain. Yeah, exactly.
They make, there's some cool
So yeah,
bike
I just need
art.
to.
Sorry, I think there was a delay.
Well, you're good. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, but we'll figure it out.
Well, I was just gonna say with your chain, you could make some art. There's a lot of cool bike art out of bike parts out there. Like,
Oh,
what do you call them?
fun.
Statues, like little figure just like, I don't know, look it up. Look up some bike art
Yeah.
and you'll see some stuff made out of chains and stuff,
Okay.
and it's really, really cool stuff. Give you some ideas.
Sick.
Collect used bike parts. I
Yeah.
am always wanting to make things and build things myself, and I never do, especially because Andrew's like, "Just buy one." I'm like, "I wanna make a bike stand. You got a piece of rebar around?" And he's like, "Just buy one." It's gonna, like you're gonna, spend as much money trying to make it as you would, like, buy a new one, and I don't know, but I wanna fucking be a DIYer, man, and that era hasn't come yet, but
Yes.
part of my 2025, like, just doing the fucking thing is I'm gonna build something, and I wanna make stuff. I wanna be a maker, like, yeah, collecting old bike parts and making something in that creative way. Because I definitely am not an artist, right? I can't draw or I don't know, um, and I'm just trying
Right.
I feel like there's gotta be something in the world for me that I can do with my hands. I just know there's some kind of hobby like that I would be naturally good at, and I need to find it. Because, like I said, it's not drawing, it's not
Yes.
painting, and I'm bound and determined that and I not that it will necessarily become my whole identity in life where now I have an Etsy store building, like, these birdhouses or something, but I I just feel like there is something like that I haven't found my true, calling and expertise for yet, but it'll happen, and I sure hope it's not,
Yes.
pet rocks.
You never know, man. You never know. Oh my
But
gosh.
I used to make
What
those with
about
my
that
grandma.
diamond art?
Oh, what's
Have you
diamond
seen
art?
the diamond art?
No.
It's these pictures that have teeny, teeny, tiny little numbers on it, and the numbers are associated to a certain color of jewel or diamond, and you have this little pen, and you pick up the little diamonds, and you put them on the according number, and then by the end, you have this beautiful piece of diamond art.
I I don't think I could do something that requires
Uh,
that much, attention or precision.
yes. Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
have to
yeah.
look it up though and
It's
get a
a
picture of
it's a
it.
thing.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, people love it.
Yeah, I just feel like where I am right now, I should just be this crazy woman on the top of a mountain, like, building things,
Yes,
but most of
absolutely.
my free
Your
material
time will
here is
come, man.
yeah, I've been trying to think forever what I could do with this rock we have, but let's just build patios, I guess, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't wanna do that, but yeah, so if you're out there and you got some kinda hobby like that, I just wanna know what you're doing. Do you knit? Because I
Yes.
tried that too, knitting and crocheting, and that was all fine for a minute. I picked it up in Alaska one year, and it must have been during the slow season, like spring or something or fall, because yeah, too busy in the summer to do it, and it just feels like for me definitely a winter, but again, I don't know, I need to do something a little more rugged.
Yeah, girl. Hell yeah. Let's get you a horse.
Totally.
Big
Absolutely.
joke.
Yeah. I, uh,
Oh.
I don't know, I'll find something, but anyways, I was stoked to get on my bike, and speaking of chains, did I tell you that I won a bag of hot wax for my bike chain?
No.
Yeah, I won it at Sea Otter, and, we're not big bike component, like, nerds or anything. We love to bike, but we're not, like, immersed in all the technical, mechanical things, and so I was like, "Hot wax for a bike? What?" And I almost didn't pick it up because I it was just towards the end of my time on Sunday, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't know where their booth is. I'm already over here. I don't wanna have to walk all the way back over there." And it's like, "What am I doing? How just rude of me to have won a prize and not go pick it up because someone else coulda won this who really wanted it." And that's just not
Yes.
right to not claim it when, like, it could be in the hands of somebody who really, really wanted it. So I went and grabbed it, and I can't wait to use it, but I need my bike stand first, which just kidding, I do not. But I mean, I want my bike stand so I can take my chain off. And it's this bag, a plastic bag, like a big pouch full of these little beads. And you put the bag, literally the
Interesting.
bag itself, in a pot of boiling water. And so the beads are the wax, and the wax melts. And then you dip your chain into the wax, and then, like, yeah, bada
Oh,
bing, bada boom, it's wax, it lasts, I think they say, like, 500 miles or something, and, so you still need to, like, lube your chain and stuff throughout, obviously, after, like, dusty days, but it really helps the life of the chain, and I was like, "Good, I'm so fucking bad at bike maintenance, any kind of maintenance, but I can't wait to take my
girl,
chain off and give
same.
her a dip," and I got this other cool cleaning tool thing, from them, but and then you can also I think it's like 20 to 30 uses or something in this bag, so after you melt it, it becomes obviously then, when it cools down, a solidified thing of wax. But yeah, you just continue to keep it in that pouch, boil the pouch right in the water, and dip your chain into that. So because at first I'm like, this is a lot of fucking wax,
Interesting.
and to just one time. What? He's like, oh no, like 20 plus times. Like, oh, that's great. But and then also I'm like, wait, dang, people are riding a lot more than I am. Like 500 miles. Like, I feel like that's a once a season thing for
Yeah.
me. So,
Uh,
but obviously you can do different chains, so if I had a different bike too. But yeah, I'm excited to use it, and I'm like, "Wow, technology."
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and science and
It
bike maintenance and, so many things that
all the things. I'm just excited to
we
bike, and
just yeah,
I
all
was
the things.
I was thinking this morning, I'm like, "Man, I've suddenly hit the switch to biking, and it's still only April, so I know that we've got some time, and we might get, shitty weather, whatever, but also bring it. I'll take as much rain and wet weather as that wants to come through April and May because I don't think it's gonna happen." But I saw one of
Yes.
those, Smokey the Bear fire danger signs that you see in a lot of areas or, like, parks where it's, like,
Yep.
low, moderate, high, extreme, whatever the little needle. Well, I saw one here in Truckee the other day, and it was at moderate, and I was like, "Oh, fuck no." I was like, "It's only April. Is that correct? Is it on Are they serious that it's, like, moderate already? Like, that's insane," and it just freaked me the fuck out, and I was just,
Yeah.
"No way, man. It's way too soon for it to say moderate," and so I'm like, "Ugh, I hope it does rain and not get too hot because yeah, things are drying out and dusty already." And yeah, like I said, I just went into a rabbit hole freaking out and like, yeah, what is happening with the wildland
Yeah.
firefighters and federal cuts and this, that, and the other? we wanted to keep this episode light, so I don't want to dive into that, but it just freaked me out for a second.
Yeah, but also that's it's real,
Mhm.
You're being real, my dude, and it's also Earth Month, and that's a concern for our Earth, and you just gotta have faith that Mother Earth will prevail.
I
Humans,
sure hope.
not so much.
Yeah,
And
totally.
just try to respect her the best you can.
Gotta respect our mothers. That also reminds me of
Mhm.
NoSo Patches because they have you heard of them?
No,
So I talked about them in
do
a tip
tell.
I talked about them in a tips and titty bits episode, but also uh I've posted a couple things about them because we did an event with them with alpinistas. And so NoSo Patches are a patch. So they look like a sticker because they have a bunch of different designs. They've collaborated with tons of different brands, like recently Dovetail, and which they made their patches out of their dead stock material, which is super cool. Alaska Salmon Sisters was a recent collaboration
Really
too.
cool.
Just so many fucking brands have worked with them. And then, so yeah, it looks like a fun little sticker. If you didn't know what it was, you'd think that yes, it's a sticker, but it's made to patch holes in like your puffy jacket, tents, like all sorts of different places. Like I said,
Ah,
they collaborated with
yes.
Dovetail, so they're made to work with like dovetail material, obviously. So you can patch like your canvas work pants and things like that too. And so of course, since we were doing an event with them with Alpinistas, we did a little mend and send DIY repair night and featured those patches, and you can do custom patches. So of course I had to
Cool.
send in information and get like a quote because I just one day really dream of having merch for the podcast. We've got our koozies and we got stickers. So by the way, if you want those, send us a message so you can get one. I'm just sending them. I think when I first got the koozies, it was like $5, and then they just became a swaggy type item. If you want to donate any dollar amount for a sticker and a koozie, please do it or buy us a coffee link. But literally, seriously, just message us if you want one because I want people to have them both. So, anyways, big dreams of having merch for the podcast someday,
Yeah.
fun t shirt and sweatshirt designs and hats and this, that, and the other. And so I was like, oh my God, no so patches would be super fucking cool. So I sent in the
Yeah.
logo and a quote, and it's out of budget right now for sure. But I wanted to bring it up because you people out there are lovely, lovely audience. A lot of you also share our values of the earth and sustainability and all this stuff and supporting one another in small women owned businesses. So, my ask to you is if you buy a NoSo patch, again, please tell us. It can all be one message. I'd like a koozie, a sticker, and a NoSo patch. Gauging
Yes.
interest would be great because the NoSo patches are a much heavier investment than the stickers or koozies for sure. So I would
Yeah.
not do that unless I knew people would like them. They would need to be purchased at this point unless we got support and we're hosting a huge event and could do them as a swag item. But they're super cool. It would be the Jane
Yeah.
logo. And yeah, you could use it as a sticker or yeah, patch up a puffy, patch up a jacket, patch up a pair of pants. And yeah, I just think they're super, super fucking cool. And said it would look just like our sticker pretty
Hell
much without
yeah.
the words on it, just the logo, not the words, just the picture. But yeah, please, guys, you know how much I hate begging for your feedback, but I'm not above it. So
Begging, begging. It's just simple. It's
it is
simple.
simple. Send us a message. If you know us personally, text us. If you don't, hit us up on Instagram and tell us. Like I said, I want a koozie, I want a sticker, I'd buy a no-so patch. Bam, bada bing, bada boom. There's your template. Hit
I'd buy a
send.
no-so patch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a rip in my mono suit, and this is kind of what stemmed it too, knowing we were doing this mend and send night with alpinistas and no-so, and then I found these two little holes in my suit, and I was like, well, fuck. And I was like, oh man, the Jane logo would look fucking great right there, right on my side ass.
Yeah,
So
baby.
yeah.
I think I have a tattoo there.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, guys, we
Uh,
don't want to keep you long for just rambling. Amber, you got anything else to add?
nah, I'm just stoked spring is here and I feel like I'm coming out of hibernation as well, so thank goodness for that vitamin D, especially in the Pacific Northwest when we're heavily doused in gray clouds, which is great, but the sun is also life-giving, so
Mhm.
that's how I'm feeling. Hope everybody else is too.
100% blooming flowers, sunshine, reach out to your friends,
Mhm, we're all
and,
blooming.
everyone get out of their comfort
Yes,
zone a little
check
bit.
in on your people.
Mhm.
Hell
All the
yeah,
things. All the
especially
things.
that one.
Yeah, especially the comfort zone or the reach out.
Yes, especially the comfort get out of your comfort zone.
Got it.
Especially that. It's
Yep.
life-changing.
It is, and yeah, like I said, I'm just tired of living in a kind of isolated zone. So a lot of people I don't think would think that I do by any means, and that's why, again, you reach out to your friends because what they put out into the world may not be what's happening inside. Yeah, I put myself out there, do a lot, but I fucking tell you, for other things, it's really, really, really hard to put myself out there for. So just know that we also struggle with you, even though, like I said, it might look like I'm out bouncing around doing all this fucking shit. Like, well, I'm not doing a lot of the things I really, really love too because I've been terrified to do them with other
Yeah,
people and then
it's
talk myself out
it's
of them. So,
real.
yeah, absolutely. It is real.
Happens
So,
too often, too easily.
yep, yep, but again, I don't know what it is, 2025, just no more fucking waiting for life to happen, and because shit's gonna happen
Yeehaw.
anyways. Shit's just gonna happen no matter what,
Yep.
and so it's like, just fucking do it. Oh, I got a thumbs up on the screen, but I was really just stretching. Alright,
Yeah.
peeps. Well, thanks so much for hanging in with us and, listening to another TNA. We'll be back sometime soon with some guests and, probably more bike talk, so I hope you enjoy that, and if you don't,
Definitely.
well,
Talks.
I'm sorry, but maybe you should start biking too. But love you if
Yeah.
you don't, we accept
Exactly that.
everyone.
Yep. Sure do.
Alright,
But also
bye
bikes.
everybody!
Boy.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and would do us a huge favor, since we don't have any sponsors or anything like that, and would rate and review us on whatever platform it is you use, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, whatever it is. And if you're listening and downloading just through the website, tearingituppodcast.com, leave comments. We'll definitely engage back with you. And on social media right now, we're just on Instagram. Tearing It Up Podcast is the handle. Like the post, share the post, comment on the post, whatever it is you got. Show us your love so we just stay relevant and show up in the rankings at all. So again, rate and review, please. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.